Hello once again everyone, good Monday morning. Let's do a video blog. We've got a lot to talk about over the next few days as the harshest winter weather of the season so far is getting set to descend upon the valley. We're talking wind and cold and of course some snow as well. We've been talking about this since the middle of last week that our best chance of impactful snow would come tonight and heading into parts of Tuesday and even Tuesday night. Here's our Clipper system moving across the Midwest this morning. This looks a little worse than it actually is on the radar. A lot of this is not reaching the ground, but as this pushes east, we might run into a flurry or two this afternoon. Just a little appetizer. The actual main system is clear back here and doesn't look like much right now, but it will intensify as it comes east, and so that's why we expect some moderate snow to break out later on tonight. No problems through the daylight hours today, no problems through this evening as well. Let's take a look at what the Weather Service has out as far as watches, warnings, advisories. We want you to focus on impacts and what the actual forecast is and not get too hung up on, you know, a watch, a warning, advisory, that sort of thing. But just FYI, a winter storm watch includes Geauga, Ashtabula, Mercer, Crawford counties. My suspicion is the Weather Service will put out a winter weather advisory for most of the region later on today and into tonight. So let's focus on the actual forecast instead of getting too caught up in who's under an advisory and who is not. You know, I mentioned there could be a flurry seen this afternoon, non-impactful. Here's our our high-res modeling showing a little bit of snow might try to squeeze out you know, a few flurries in northeast Ohio, western PA this afternoon. Again, no big deal. No big deal through this evening. We're going to be mostly snow-free this evening. Might be a few snowflakes up towards the lakeshore around 7, 8, 9 o'clock, but the main event comes after midnight. I'm going to roll this forward all the way to 1 in the morning. And at this point, it's still not doing much. But then that will change as we go into the overnight and into tomorrow. The lake effect is going to be very impressive with this tomorrow and into parts of tomorrow night. Here's a look at kind of a complicated graph, but I want you to focus on this red mark right here. That's the current Lake Erie water temperature. The blue line is the average. So water temperatures are a little above average for this time of the year, and the actual water temperature is in the mid-40s. Here's the temperatures right here. There's 50, there's 40. So we're kind of in the mid-40s right now. That's the water temperature. We'll check out the temperature of the air that's going to go across that water tomorrow into tomorrow night. Now, these numbers are in Celsius, but 17, 18 degrees below 0 Celsius is pretty close to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So the difference between the air temperature not far above the ground and the water temperature will be, you know, roughly 40 degrees or maybe even 45 degrees. Again, these air temperatures are not right at the surface, but up a few thousand feet. But that's what we look at. What's the air temperature up a couple of thousand feet? Because that's a very important level to determine how much lift there's going to be. So extreme instability is the bottom line as we get into tomorrow and tomorrow night over Lake Erie. And you'll see that here. First of all, our general snow tonight, again, it's late at night. After midnight, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. This is going to make for a tough morning commute tomorrow. Plan on slow travel. Plan on some impacts. I would suspect there'll be some school adjustments tomorrow morning. The steady snow then winds down by early to mid-morning at the latest, probably pretty close to daybreak or so on Tuesday, tapering off to flurries. We'll get into a little lull probably around mid to late morning, around lunchtime on Tuesday before the lake effect really starts to ramp up. And you'll see that here. Notice the increase in the coverage of the bands coming off of Lake Erie by late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. And these are going to be fairly random. It's hard to say who's going to get a heavier squall and who's not, but if you do get under one of these heavier squalls tomorrow and into tomorrow night, conditions could change very rapidly. I wouldn't be shocked if up near the lake there was some thunder and lightning with this. And of course, the snow will accumulate pretty efficiently under those squalls, but it's a matter of chance, really. You know, some places will get more snow than others. The highest odds of you getting under a heavier squall are to the north, but I can't even rule out some of these heavier squalls getting, you know, south of I-80 down into Lawrence and even Columbiana counties. Even though the odds are higher to the north, I can't rule out someone getting under a squall for a little while south of I-80. As far as how much snow goes, pardon me, still fighting a little cough here. A couple of models here. Now, we got a zoomed out view. This is as close in as I could zoom, so it's a little hard to see. But this model, this is the NAM model, shows pretty big gradient across the region with 1 to 3 for a lot of the viewing area, but you get into some of these brighter colors once you're up towards northern Trumbull and northern Mercer, you know, suggesting half a foot or more up there. That's the NAM model. Here's the GFS. It doesn't look as intense, but kind of a similar story here. Widespread 1 to 3 for a lot of our viewing area, with some higher amounts up here, closer to Kinsman and Greenville and places such as that. Those are just a couple of the models. Here's the snow map I put out yesterday, and I still like this for the most part. We're talking a general 1 to 3 for a lot of areas south of I-80. Now, some places are going to be closer to the 1, some places are going to be closer to the 3. Could someone even get 4 if you get under a heavier squall at some point tomorrow and tomorrow night? Yeah, that's possible. But a general 1 to 3. A general 3 to 6 to the north. And then I've got a little area of purple up here in the northeastern part of Mercer with 6 or more. I might have to extend that purple area kind of west at some point today. Now, this is a total from tonight through tomorrow night. This is not what's going to be on the ground tomorrow morning. I think tomorrow morning, as you get up and try to get around on a Tuesday morning, most areas will have a general inch or 2 or 3 on the ground. But then as the lake effect kicks in, it's going to favor the more northern areas. Again, a general snow tonight, everyone gets it. Tuesday into Tuesday night, more of a randomness to the snow showers, with the higher odds of more impactful snow squalls the farther north you are. So that's, this is the storm total, but there's going to be impacts tonight, impacts tomorrow morning, impacts pretty much all day tomorrow. You just have to be careful at any point tomorrow, and then into tomorrow night as well. So Wednesday morning could be impacted as well. I'm not going to show you the wind chills in the interest of keeping this video relatively short, but the wind chills Wednesday morning will probably be 5 to 10 below zero, probably struggling to get above zero during the day on Wednesday, and Wednesday will be our coldest day. Temperatures tomorrow, Tuesday, will actually fall all day. It's going to feel harsh by the end of the afternoon, much warmer in the morning than the afternoon tomorrow. Cold all day Wednesday, probably not much higher than 20. But notice, here comes the thaw. We've been talking about this, the thaw for the weekend. And then it's likely to turn colder as we go towards Christmas. Will it be as cold as the air mass that's about to come in? I doubt it, but it could be pretty cold. These numbers might be a little too high around Christmas and Christmas Eve. We're still 2 weeks away from Christmas, so it's still too early to start talking about, odds of a white Christmas and that sort of thing. But I am fairly confident it will be a cold Christmas. It's just a matter of how cold. It's going to be awfully cold in the next couple of days. So we've got you covered. Jess is in the studio. She's back from vacation this morning. She'll have a full update on the midday show at noon. I'll have social media posts and everything you need to know on 21 News at 6 and 11. Go out and run your errands today. No problems at all. The weather will impact your plans, though, starting tonight and taking us right through Wednesday morning.